Tarot in the dark. I just got the sudden urge. I usually don't plan my readings and do readings as I feel guided. Because I don't want to preempt the messages that need to come through. So when I do a reading, there's a strong urge to do it. And for this reading, I have the Akashic Tarot deck. And I feel like we need to know something, someone needs to know something about a past life. As we know, everything about our experiences in life affects us in some way. And from the time we are born, we take things in consciously and subconsciously without realizing it. Like you might observe the interaction between the people around you, and you learn through what you observe how to interact. So if certain situations come up and the people around you model to shut down, or they make you be quiet when you need to voice something, then that's what you subconsciously learn, and then that becomes a program. So when you are in conflicting or confrontational situations or something uncomfortable, you shut down. Or you might be in an environment where it is safe for you to speak, so you grow up confidently able to using your voice. Or you might be in an environment where there is aggression shown or anger shown in difficult situations, and these become learned behaviors. We have experiences where how we are loved influences how we love ourselves and others, and it affects everything. How you love yourself and how you love others affects everything from your career to your love relationships to how you parent to how you show up in the world. It affects everything. Because, for instance, if you never felt safe to speak your mind, you could possibly have been a motivational speaker or comedian or a content creator, because you have some sort of creative energy and some sort of talent, but then you have the subconscious fear of speaking or being seen. So even if you really know that's what you want to do and you try, there's almost this shutdown, and you might experience anxiety when you are now put in a position where you need to speak, or you might avoid, and it can be any dynamic. It doesn't necessarily have to be about speaking. But what was coming to me is that not only are we affected by the things in this life, we are affected by the things in previous lives. And I think the reason for that is because as we become aware of these subconscious blocks and work through it and almost disengage it, like reprogram ourselves, free ourselves from that programming, it affects everything and everyone around us in this life, but also in our lineage. Because maybe you are shy and timid because of a behavior you had displayed to you by your parents, And they are that way because of a behavior they had displayed to them by someone else previous to that, and it goes back and it goes back and it goes back. So there are things that we may need to become aware of so that we can get past it, so that we don't pass it on to our children and we don't perpetuate these cycles over and over and over again in our life. So let's see what wants to come through in this specific reading. We have the journey, 7 of Roses. In this card we have people at a harbor, going on boats, about to go on a journey. Let's just see. Okay, so this card is about going on either a physical journey, as in moving, relocating, changing jobs, or it can be a metaphorical journey, which is like a creative path or a spiritual journey, or just some change, taking a new direction in your life. Maybe that is becoming a parent, maybe it's becoming single, but there's some sort of journey. Let's see what else. What is the 7 of Roses, please? What is this journey? We have the 1 of Forces, the Akashic field. The Akashic field is tapping into, it's almost like the cosmic library where all information is stored through all time and space. So basically this is what I'm talking about. It's going on a journey to discover something about yourself and why you're here and what it is you're meant to be bringing awareness to, changing within yourself, within your lineage, within your DNA, within your thinking, within your family's belief systems or some sort of pattern. And it could be even much deeper than that. It could be, something deeply spiritual. And this card, asks for us to tap into the Akashic records. There are a number of ways to do this. Obviously, we can do guided meditations, or just ask your spirit guides, your team of angels, your higher self, to bring you the information that you need. You could get the information through dreams, but there's something that needs to come to our awareness. Is this 1 card or 2? Okay, we have number 14, the initiation, and Count Saint Germain. Someone is going through a spiritual initiation or some sort of initiation. Someone is on a spiritual journey, and it is really important to understand why you're on this journey and what it is that you are intended to do, know, change. This card represents more than a change or even a transformation. It is nothing less than your movement into higher revelations of power, insight, and achievement. and the time is now. It's almost like somebody needs to tap in and access something about their spiritual gifts. And for this to happen, there will probably be a loss of relationships, jobs, activities, behaviors, things in your life that are blocking you from accessing these higher gifts, accessing your ability to connect to the Akashic records, to your higher self, to be the highest potential of who you need to be in this life, for you to be able to fulfill your purpose. You can connect or call on the Ascended Masters, Saint Germain being one of them. Something needs to be unlocked within you, and fear blocks everything. If we are afraid or have, think that these things are taboo, or you don't believe that you could possibly be that, be more than just the person that you think you are, we need to really open ourselves up to the idea that we are more than just human. We also have the number 4 card, the birth. Something about your path has to do with children. But you could also just be going through a rebirth. And we have the ascent. Things might have felt really difficult up to this point, like an uphill battle. But it's all perspective. If you see this as an achievement, and when you reach the summit, you would have gained so much from this journey up the mountain. Or you can see it as, woe is me, this is happening to me and not for me. But you are on an ascension journey, basically. And if you're watching these types of videos, you probably already know that. The birth card indicates a time for a new start. Perhaps an actual birth, or at least a metaphorical one. An old phase is passing away and a new one begins. But even this new beginning has its roots in your deepest histories and your past lives. There may be some labor involved, but it's a labor that bears fruit. This card is associated with fertility, sensuality, and motherhood. There may be a new energy in romance, the family, or the home. You could be giving birth to a creative project too. Whatever it is, celebrate. Prepare for the wonderful growth and opportunities that are about to come. Whatever phase that you're passing through now, whatever has happened has prepared you for this next phase, and you're about to either birth. What is this that is being birthed? Is it related to work, relationships, children? What is this new phase? Again, everything is connected. I feel like our spiritual journey is connected to who is our family, who we get into relationships with, what work we do. The Two of Pentacles. This is sort of a juggling energy, but it's also like doing two things at once. Something about changing practical things in this life through understanding your spirituality and who you are as a spiritual being. The Four of Swords. Meditation and prayer. I feel like a lot happens, I'm hearing, at night, but when you're resting and you're sleeping or you're praying, there's a lot happening internally within you that you might not be aware of. We have the World and the Queen of Pentacles. Something has come full circle. It's like your life is about to change completely in a major way. There's also abundance coming. The Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles is tangible things, and the Magician. You're manifesting this next phase of your life, whether you realize it or not, and whether it unfolds in the way you thought it would or expected it would or not, by aligning to your spiritual path. And spirituality doesn't have to be woo-woo, it doesn't have to be tarot, it doesn't have to be meditation. It is just being true to your soul. You know, if I always say, if you're meant to be a gardener and that fulfills you, you have possibly some ethereal connection to plants or knowledge from a previous life about how to garden, and you're just good at it. And some people are just not. No matter what they do, they can study it, but they're not, and they don't love it. Or you could be meant to be a parent and you're just really good with children, or your experiences in previous lives or in this life has sort of shaped you into the perfect person to be a parent. But you might have fears because, say, you don't come from a happy home, or you're an orphan, or, you know, we might have subconscious fears, but it's possible that those very painful and difficult situations is what gives you the empathy or the understanding as to what it is that is needed for this next phase of your life. And I'm sure you'll have an intuitive knowing about it. Like, some of us say you have a deep longing to have children, but the title card, which is about soul contracts and soul purpose for me, because you had a difficult relationship with your parents, you don't think that it's possible to have a healthy, happy family home. But this is what you long for, and the reason you long for it is because you can now change that. Or if no one in your family had successful careers, and you know that you can be, but you're also afraid because you think that they failed, I'm gonna fail, and there's all these things against me, but these things are not against you. They are preparing you, and once you overcome them, and usually those things that come up against you, it's almost like to push you in a certain direction. So for instance, if someone says you can't do something, you can either say, yeah, you're right, I can't, or you can say, oh, I'm going to prove you wrong, and I'm going to show you I can do it. And it should never be from an ego-based place. It should be from an empowered place, from believing the highest possible, the best possible outcome is possible. And the highest version of you, the highest, not in terms of, oh, I just want to have lots of money because I want to show people I'm better, but believing that I can be wealthy because I'm a good, deserving human being. and not to get back at anyone or whatever, but using that negativity as your ladder, your stepping stones, your drive, your push, but without negative attachments to it. What else? Anything else for this reading, please? Anything else for this reading? Death. Transformation, a major ending, almost like all things ending in your life. And obviously death is sad. This is not necessarily a physical death, a metaphorical death. You have to grieve the endings and accept. But with such big endings comes great change. And you have to be able to look forward to that. Take what you've learned and move forward confidently. What do you need to know about yourself? Let's ask that before we end. What do you need to know about yourself? The mystic. You are intimately and deeply connected to the divine. There's something about you, and it can be different obviously for different people, in something unique about you, and how you connect with the divine. And that can be God or whatever you believe in. The dilettante delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Connecting to the divine could be that you are an artist of some sort, that you paint, that you write music. Could even be cooking, like you're a chef, or but this card says that you didn't study music or art, or you don't do it for work, but there's some sort of passion that connects you to the divine, and that's something that you need to tap into. There's someone painting here, and then there's a book, there's someone cooking, there's a plant. Again, what I was saying before, a creative outlet that you are aware of or may not be aware of, that you need to tap into for the love of it, because it fulfills you, it brings you joy. It could be that this thing is what you do to earn a living, or will do to earn a living, but the point is that it's not about the money. It's about how the divine expresses something spiritual through you. And I mean, it could just be that you create something beautiful that makes people see beauty in life, or able to enjoy something, or it uplifts them in some way, inspires them in some way, motivates them in some way. And that is something that is part of your path, and that you need to tap into. You need to be aware of any person, situation, or thing that drains your energy. When we are unhappy, when we are sad, when we are exhausted, we can't fully tap into our creative energy. And that could be as simple as not having enough time to yourself to be able to focus on creative pursuits, or just have the energy to do anything beyond chores and work and that type of thing. Or it could be something really affecting how you feel about yourself. Like you might be depressed or sad or whatever, and it might be the environment that you're living in is really low vibrational. There might be a specific person around you that is very negative, and it could be obvious that they have negative feelings towards you, or it could be hidden so well that you don't see it. But if you ask for it to be revealed to you what this is, it will be revealed to you. And often, even if we don't become aware of it, somehow it'll just come to an end, because it's not meant to be part of the next phase of our journey. I don't know if any of this makes sense, but if this reading is for you, something in there will make sense. I hope you join me again in another reading, and if you feel called to interact with this video, feel free to do that. If you are on a spiritual journey or this message just resonates, I send you love and light. Sometimes, well, life is not easy, and whether you resonate with spirituality or not, it doesn't matter. It could just be that you are having family issues or financial issues, or trying to figure out what you need to do in this life, and you don't really resonate with religion or spirituality at all. It's all basically the same thing. So I hope this sheds some light for you in some way.